Wow. Yo, Salmonella, you said this one to kind of rile me up. This is not good. I like also how a lot of the discoveries that we've had with food have literally been like, are you brave enough? How's it going, folks? Jack here with another reaction here today to check out something new from the Salmonella Academy on banned and controversial foods. The banning process being something that should be applied to certain foods that have yet to be banned. Example, while the things that I'm going to mention are generally, all of them are things that I have tasted. The process and sometimes the food themselves are something that I would not recommend to anybody else. 1. Scottish culture. Love you guys, love the Highland. What I do not like that much is haggis. Jesus. While it doesn't taste as bad as the process of making it might sound, it is still kind of weird. For those of you who've never had the privilege of tasting haggis, we're talking about sheep liver, we're talking about their guts, the heart, all of those boiled in a nice stomach and so, and depending on how cultural you want to make this, buried on the ground, which afterwards ends up being put in stores and served as a delicacy. Not quite the thing that I would recommend to people, but taste it. It's not as bad as it sounds. Similarly with another one that some also tend to call a delicacy, which I absolutely don't think it is, surströmming. We talked about this in a Geopol video where I literally showed a video of my friend Jonas who was puking his guts out because of the smell alone. So rancid, it's disgusting. Sweden, what did you do with that fermented fish? It should be banned. France, I have issues with France. There are like a lot that I want to mention, but we're gonna save that for the video. Also with certain fruits.
Hey Majors, so I'd like to start off with a little biology lesson. When a species finds itself living on an island, it can start to evolve in strange ways based on the different pressures applied by the new environment. This is called island syndrome, and while it can manifest in a lot of ways, the biggest driving force is often a lack of predators. For example, the dodo lost its ability to fly since there was nothing to flee from. The saint killed a field mouse got twice as big since it no longer had to hide. And with no one around to bully them, the Sardinians started putting maggots in their cheese. Meet Casu Martzu, literal translation, rotten cheese.
No. This is a flashback from a terrible past episode of the Brothers Price that I saw. We have like some, I guess we could call them world-renowned chefs here, the Brother Price, Adam and James, who during one of their episodes were tasting this thing, and you could literally see the maggots crawling out of it. Like, yeah, that's what we can see here on screen, right?
Der noget, der lever inde i den mere. Men så er der jo noget. Det er der. Det er. De vælter ud hernede.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay, my ass is guaranteed you're about to fuck your guts up.
It's made by taking a perfectly good wheel of pecorino and letting a special type of fly lay eggs in it. The fly babies then work to partially digest the cheese, rendering it goopy and wet and maybe quite tasty and worm-filled. Now, cheese as a concept is already quite suspect. It's clotted milk that you fill with bacteria and mold and let sit for a while.
Yeah.
But cheese is safe and delicious. Cheese is my friend. I trust cheese. So my guard would be down around Casu Martzu. I've learned to look past a cheese's childhood. Strange upbringings are what give them their character. But it turns out, those maggots are still alive, and if you don't chew well enough, they can cause enteric myiasis, which is a fancy term for fly larvae living in your intestines.
Listen, if you hear the word myiasis with regards to anything, run. Like when anything involves a parasitic infection, it is not good for you. So the fact that people are willing to consume this is strange.
Symptoms are similar to food poisoning, except with the added psychic pain of knowing that, again, your bowels are full of squiggly new friends. It's for this reason that Casu Martzu is banned in the EU and elsewhere. A black market still exists, which is wild, and it's not a small one. In 2019, the illicit Casu Martzu trade was estimated to be worth 2 to 3 million euros annually. Personally, I would just do it prohibition style, like definitely don't put these fly eggs on this sumptuous wheel of pecorino. But if you do, you absolutely shouldn't keep it warm and damp for a week. But although it's traditional to leave the larvae alive when you eat your mag and cheese, some consumers still prefer them dead, shockingly. In that case, one puts the cheese in a sealed bag, and when the maggots run out of oxygen, they writhe around and fling themselves all over the place. This is heard as a distinct pitter-patter against the walls of the bag, and when the sound stops, the contents are ready to eat, like popcorn. Shark fin soup is...
Okay, from bad to worse. For one, where there are some idiots who are doing one thing to their body, and then the other one that are literally destroying the lives of sharks. Wow. Yo, Salmonella, you said this one to kind of rile me up. This is not good. I like also how a lot of the discoveries that we've had with food have literally been like, are you brave enough? Like, some dude had his wheel of cheese and saw a bunch of maggots growing out of it and was like, I should stick my finger in there and have a taste. Like, why do you do that? Like, I understand animals. That's how we understood that certain, like, apes got drunk off of fruit because of they enjoyed the taste of the fermentation, because they literally ate that stuff all the time when they got off of trees, or different other animals who ended up getting drunk off of fermented fruit. But, like, when we literally don't have to do it and go out of our ways to, like... put ourselves in danger.
Is one most of us have heard about already, mostly in reference to its effect on shark populations and the wastefulness that goes into making it. Until recently though, I never looked into the nature of the dish itself. I figured, right, the fins are just the only part of the shark worth eating. Big whoop, it's probably not much different from like swordfish. Apparently though, I had it backwards. Shark fins aren't even meat. They're...
No. That's why it doesn't even make sense. That's why it's stupider than that. It's the equivalent of like bone marrow.
Made almost entirely of cartilage and collagen. They are the last part we should be eating. That's why it's only made into soup, because without being soaked in broth, it has zero flavor or nutritional value on its own. Their only redeeming quality is their unique mouthfeel due to how stringily the collagen grows, in structures called ceratotrichia. The texture has been described as somewhere between chewy and crunchy, which I find describes most things, actually. Other adjectives present on Wikipedia include snappy, gelatinous, and sinewy. The exact sensation of eating this substance remains a mystery to me, and the unintended side effect of all this research is that I now really want to try it. Like, it's a big trade. I've got to be the one that's wrong.
Oh my god. No. That's disgusting. Damn. It's made even weirder. This is made even weirder for me because as of late, my girlfriend has gone on a, what's it called? A vegan arc, because we have big discussions here in Denmark regarding the efficacy of our production of pig meat, right? So there's been like a whole discussion of, are we supposed to call them swine? Because we've done that to like remove the moral or ethical aspects behind the production of them. Because we obviously know that ecological ones are way better to make because they get to go on the field to eat proper food. But are they more green? Denmark is striving to be one of the greenest countries in the world, and actually caging animals, turns out, is greener because they don't go and pasture that much and destroy more fields, which in turn makes sure that we don't have to cultivate much ground, which releases a lot more greenhouse gases. I needed to find a word there in my mind. And god damn it. It gets so infuriating when things that are highly unnecessary are being done. Why? Why do we do this?
There is imitation shark fin soup available, but I've already decided that it's not nearly as good. So I've come up with a compromise to this controversy. Everyone on Earth gets just one bite. Say there's 10 bites to a fin, 4 fins to a shark, 200 million sharks die, sure, a necessary casualty, but then we can end the practice forever. All done. You can finally rest, Mr. Ming. Come here, baby. Aww. Ackee. What? Ackee.
Oh, the fruit.
Ackee. The ackee is a fruit originally from West Africa, which is most commonly associated with Jamaican cuisine, where it appears in such dishes as ackee and saltfish. These alien kidneys here are called the arils, and they're the only part of the fruit that's actually eaten.
Ackee bread. I think Ackee brown bread? It's very good. It's super tasty.
Flavor is on the savory side, being described as kind of nutty or bean-like. What makes the Ackee controversial, though, is the effects it can cause when prepared improperly. If the arils are allowed to completely ripen, they're harmless. But if you eat them too early, or don't thoroughly clean off all the non-aril stuff, they can cause Jamaican vomiting sickness. This disease doesn't sound real. It sounds like it belongs next to Eastern sweats and Tangerian bone grindings, but that's actually an official term, and as for symptoms, it does what it says on the tin. Plus maybe death. While Ackee-based products aren't outright illegal in the United States, they are very tightly regulated, and the raw fruit itself cannot be imported. So if you're American and want to try it, your options are fully cooked canned Ackee or going to Florida where a few people grow it domestically.
Yeah, I've never held an Ackee fruit personally. I've seen some people sending pictures of them from back home. But no, I've never held them. I've seen them in cans, especially. So the bread itself, I've tasted. But apparently, this is like the puffer fish of the flora. If it's not prepared correctly, then it causes sickness and perhaps also death, like fugo, if you get that reference.
Next we have bird's nest soup. This is another one that I've vaguely heard of, and for years I just assumed the name was a playful metaphor like ants on a log or shit on a shingle. Turns out, nope, this dish contains an actual bird nest. Not like a pile of twigs like I was picturing, but rather a specific type of nest only made by certain species of swiftlets. These nests are mostly made out of mucins, which are a set of proteins that, among other things, serve to thicken all those wonderful secretions our bodies make.
You might as well just be consuming mucus at this point. Ugh. Yeah, the protein from saliva and snot. No, who decided one day that I'm gonna eat bird's phlegm? No.
A little bit in human saliva, a little bit more in mucus, and in swiftlet saliva, look out, pal. So all the swiftlet does is it finds a nice wall, starts laying out fat strings of slobber, which dry, and eventually she's got a nice place to roost. That is, right up until some gourmand says,
today I crave bird spit. You can keep the eggs though.
And they then reconstitute it back into its original gelatinous texture. Unfortunately, these nests can't enter the US since, believe it or not, eating bird saliva is a great way to catch bird flu. And now the time has come to...
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What's wrong with people? Stop it!
Speak of the ortolan. The ortolan is a kind of bunting, which is a sort of passerine, which is a type of bird.
Remember when I said the whole thing of I have issues with a lot of French food? Escargot wasn't my first. I had nearly forgotten about this shit here. Oh, proo. I don't know what happened there. Bird brain.
They're birds. Like many animals, they have a long history of being eaten by the French. But what separates the ortolan from your average squab or pheasant is the unique way in which it is prepared and eaten. They're typically caught with nets and kept in the dark, which causes them to overeat for some reason. Once it's about twice as fat, the entire bird is then thrown into a container of brandy, alive, and sealed in. While this serves to marinate the creature, it also drowns in the process, thereby killing one bird with no stones. The ortolan is then roasted, plucked, and presented whole to the consumer, who inserts the carcass into their mouth, feet first. As they chew, one hand continues holding the bird's head, while the other picks out the larger bones. This whole ritual is usually performed with a towel or large napkin over one's head. There's a few explanations for the purpose of the towel. Some say it's just there to keep the aromas in, while others say it's there to, quote, shield from God's eyes the shame of such a decadent and disgraceful act.
This is the part that I know of. I never knew how it was actually prepared. I've seen being served and the way that people ate it. I don't even think that saying sacre bleu is enough here, but wow. Yeah, perhaps it's to hide from the shame.
Yeah, this one I'm okay with not trying, actually. Notable fans of this dish include, not joking, Bill Cosby and the guy who invented the lobotomy.
Like, Cosby can go somewhere and rot and die. Antonio Moniz, wow. Okay. that somewhat makes sense.
To be part of that social club. Our mission is to eat birds whole and then make people not remember things. Killing ortolans was banned across the EU in 2007, not for any ethical reason, but because French people did this so much that the entire ortolan population was threatened. Thankfully, as of 2018, their conservation status is under least concern, so hopefully the French can get back to it soon. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
Dude. Man, next up I'm gonna watch how they make Japanese swords, but the French nearly eradicated an entire population of birds because of that. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, and by that I'm being ironic, of course. Dang. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, please do make sure to go and subscribe to Salmonella. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to give the video a like. And wish you all to have a wonderful day. See you guys in the next one. Bye.